Hi, and welcome to the latest Quickfire video interview from VanillaPlus. AI, or artificial intelligence, often fills the headlines in the consumer press. We know that. But as I'm sure you all know as well, telecoms is one of the industries that's been deploying AI for a while now. So we wanted to find out how AI and machine learning are helping operators wrestle with 5G and why it's important for enterprise customers, particularly, to understand AI decisions. And who better to guide us than India-based Subex's Chief Operating Officer and Board Director, Shankar Roddam. A very warm welcome to you, Shankar.
Thank you, Jeremy. It's an absolute pleasure to be here, and thank you for having me.
Great to have you here. So, Shankar, how are network operators using AI right now? And can you give us some numbers to show the scale of benefits that artificial intelligence brings to network operations?
Sure. There are two questions that you asked, right? So let me try and answer the first, which is how are service providers today leveraging AI? In our experience, AI is being largely used today in consumer or customer-led use cases to start with, right? So we've seen a lot of adoption around customer experience, customer journey, cross-selling of new products, upselling, etc. Following the customer side of it, we've seen it being applied in credit risk areas. Subex, as you know, is one of the largest and the longest player when it comes to fraud prevention and risk, and we've seen quite a few use cases in the areas of Wangiri fraud, account takeover, and so on, right? And we've also seen a limited amount of uptake in areas related to cost optimization, if I were to say. So all in all, we are seeing this as more focused around the customer, fraud risk, and also looking at the optimization part of it, right? So that is whether it comes to spend, looking at trying to bring efficiencies and so on and so forth. In our view, those are the kind of areas we are seeing a lot of uptake. There are conversations around forward-looking areas such as carbon emission controls, etc., but I think it's early days on that front. The second part of your question was what kind of returns are customers seeing? In our experience, the way customers are looking at benefits of AI is very different from the traditional ROI approach. In fact, in quite a few of the projects we have delivered, we are being measured by saying, can you help us improve the run rate of a certain scenario better than the traditional models, right? Or we are being asked to say, can you increase the efficiency of my customer verification or OCR detection using AI? So the metrics in which AI and its ROI is being measured is very different from the way the traditional business cases were built. So I think the question itself is something that would we expect to be rephrased. There are a lot of numbers out there, but I think we would want to challenge that and say it's very early days for anyone to say you will get a 2 billion or 20% or whatever benefits. This is something which is still evolving, but it will be around trying to drive efficiencies versus how the business is operating today.
Okay. If we're not talking specific numbers, can you tell me how your customers are benefiting from AI adoption? And can you give us an example?
Absolutely. You know that Subex launched HyperSense, which is our AI platform, last year, and we've been doing a few projects for some of our customers. And some of the examples where we've been applying AI is a tier 1 operator in Asia Pacific, where we are leveraging AI to help improve their customer onboarding using OCR and facial recognition, and thereby not only bringing efficiencies, but also trying to bring in a much better customer experience at the time of onboarding, right? I have a customer in Europe where we have implemented or adopted AI for solving a problem of handset theft. And the returns are humongous to your question. We are saving them many millions every month just based on one use case and by leveraging AI. And mind you, it's a tier 1 who's fairly efficient, mature, and they were using other techniques as well. Similarly, we're also doing a project for a large tier 1 in Americas where AI is being leveraged to solve the problem of how trade-ins are done. We all know iPhone was launched and a lot of trade-ins happen, but there are significant amount of inefficiencies in the way trade-in processes are run. And we are actually trying to leverage AI to help bring those efficiencies to these customers, right? So that was just to give you a few illustrations of how we are leveraging AI for our customers across the globe.
And looking at 5G in particular, are machine learning and AI helping operators already?
Yes, I mean, that's a good question, because today, if you look at 5G itself, most of the investments and focus on 5G has been limited to rolling out the network, or limited, let's say, products being rolled out in terms of trying to drive 5G adoption, which is still consumer focused. There's a lot of conversations around latency and healthcare, etc., but I think that there's still a long way to go. The reason I'm giving that context is AI, therefore, is today largely focused around these use cases, which are more relevant to 5G in terms of the network rollout. For example, we have done a few projects where we are trying to help service providers with their network investment plan. This is not just about trying to go in and say, how do you spend your dollars, but in a truly large multi-vendor kind of a network, you need to be able to look at different sets of dimensions. Customers are moving, customers are dynamic. So how do you now bring in the context of the network along with your customer segmentation, ARPU, and everything else, and constantly look at making sure that you meet your customer experience, and at the same time, you're sweating your assets? That's a journey, right? And that's one of the examples where we have been doing that for some of our customers, right? The other example, which I think is very relevant in the 5G context, is with 5G, we will all see a lot of products being rolled out. The velocity of products being rolled out is going to be significantly higher than the past. That's because you're going to have different bundles, you're going to have different kinds of products coming, you'll have third parties coming in, and telcos will soon be offering a lot more products. AI can be used to manage things such as your product profitability, product bundles, upselling of new products, simplifying your product composition as well on an ongoing basis, right? So those are two very, very good candidates, I would say, when it comes to 5G, focused around your network, CapEx, OpEx management, sweating your assets. And the second is also trying to ensure what you offer to your customers is indeed what they want and is indeed what the operators want to sell as well.
Okay. Finally, Shankar, is it important, do you think, for enterprise users of telecoms to really understand the output of AI decisions, or should they leave it in the hands of those who are dealing with it?
Again, a great question, Jeremy. I've been talking to many CXOs for a while now. And I think the biggest challenge we've been seeing is that they do not know how to qualify the recommendations of an AI engine, right? There are situations where we've been in workshops with some customers and we are evaluating the results of an AI, and then there is someone in the room with 20 years of experience in marketing, for example, making a suggestion, and then you are at a crossroad, right? Do you believe the person with 20 years of experience, or do you believe AI? And this is a dilemma that is being faced with every operator. And that is essentially what we are calling out as explainable AI, right? While there are many products, many vendors out there who are doing model building, etc., I think the key to the puzzle and the missing piece of the puzzle is actually explainable AI. And that's, by the way, something that we are doing with Hypersense in terms of saying, let's bring in the element of trying to define and explain why a certain logic or recommendation is being made. The intent of that is not to justify that, but the intent of that recommendation from AI is so that the users are then asking smart questions. It helps them to be able to make better decisions. It helps them to do better A/B testing and then be able to build from there. So we see explainable AI as something which is not only important for accepting AI, but more so for users to be able to ask the right questions.
So maybe if they're doing that, they're not starting from a position of misconceptions.
Absolutely right. We are humans, and it is but logical that A, we are bound to make mistakes. B, we are bound to be very rational and ask a lot of questions. We are meant to be inquisitive and challenging everything that is being told, which is all good. But I think this enables for a meaningful conversation, like I said, asking the right questions and then being able to get the right answers, which raises the bar at which any organization is operating at.
Well, I hope we can get you back sometime soon to talk about what life is like once the bar has been raised, Shankar. Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jeremy. And hopefully we'll have more stories to share by then.
I look forward to it. And thank you, everyone, for watching wherever we find you today. Till the next time, bye for now.